Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yi Hao, and I'm a graduate from a School of Information Systems.
And I'm Urmila, also from the School of Information Systems. Together, the two of us will be your MCs for our graduation ceremony today. As our session will begin very shortly, may we request that all mobile phones and beeping devices be switched off or turned to silent mode.
Also, please remain seated throughout the ceremony, except when the national anthem is being played.
We would also like to request that you do not use flash photography during the ceremony, as doing so will risk overexposing the photographs taken by our professional photographers.
And now, please welcome the Grand Processional. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Singapore. Please be seated. Thank you.
Guest of honor, Mrs. Teng Soon Lang, SMU President, Professor Arnaud de Meyer, senior management and faculty, parents, the graduating class of 2012 for the School of Information Systems, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are gathered here to celebrate the finale of a long but exciting story started some 4 to 5 years ago by all of us graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2012, today we celebrate the closing chapter of our SMU story.
As we turn the pages of the book of our SMU life, let us recall the choices we made, relive our days of wine and quizzes, review our triumphs and regret our losses, remember our friendships and renew our bond with our university and with each other.
We may wonder at how the same gangly, wide-eyed youths of yesteryear have morphed into the confident movers and shakers of tomorrow that we see sitting here amongst us today. And speaking of which, our next speaker is the epitome of refinement and maturity. Please welcome the current chief writer of our SMU story, the president of our university, Professor Arnaud de Meyer.
Guest of honor, Mrs. Teng Soodlang, Executive Vice President and Head Group Quality and Process Innovation Division of the OCBC Bank Group. Dean Steve Miller, distinguished guests, colleagues, family members, and most important of all, you, the graduates, or the graduates, the members of the class of 2012. A good morning from my side and a very warm welcome to this commencement ceremony. I was very happy to hear that I'm not aged anymore, but now mature and refined. So that's something I will remember from this. But it's a real great pleasure for me to share the joy of our School of Information Systems graduates and their families here this morning. It is indeed a very significant moment. You're closing down, or you're closing what I hope was an exhilarating period in your life, but a potentially far more exciting adventure is going to start. What you achieved until now is great. But as you know, this ceremony is called a commencement. And it sounds a bit strange because it looks as the end of 4 or 5 years of hard work. But in fact, it's the beginning of something new, beginning of a new professional life or maybe further studies. And I would like to at least wish you here all the best with the great opportunities that lie ahead all of you, and I also think they deserve to be celebrated today. When we looked at the videos a few seconds ago, you were sitting, and we saw what you had been doing at the freshman team building camp. You may also have remembered that about 4 years ago, you were sitting in a gathering just like this one, albeit without gowns and mortarboards, at the Convocation 2008. Even though SMU's rigorous admissions process with interviews favors the more dynamic and confident applicants, I'm sure you were all far more timid and unsure of yourselves than you are today. But as many of you have mentioned to me and to your dean, SMU has helped to create a more confident and a more articulate you, with hopefully a deep-rooted sense of ethics and social responsibility. Your journey through SMU would have given you many valuable opportunities, and I trust that you have made good use of them to give yourself a very enriching experience. You had the chance to see and know the world, as global exposure is a hallmark of the SMU education. Many of you have spent a semester in a partner university for overseas exchange, or you have experienced overseas internships, community service projects, business study missions, and have no doubt taken part in cultural programs and lots of core curricular activities. During your time with us, you seized the opportunity to learn, to experience, and to give back. And I hope that the habit of learning that you got by attending the courses and the classes at SMU will stay with you for the rest of your life, that you will have that hunger for learning, that you will keep on investing in continuous education and learning. And I also hope that the knowledge that we shared with you, whether it was tacit knowledge or explicit knowledge, but that knowledge that at some moment in time you also will be able to translate that into wisdom. I do want to take the opportunity here today also to acknowledge the parents, the grandparents, siblings, relatives and friends, boyfriends and girlfriends present here today. You have also played a significant role, a crucial role, I would say, in these graduates' journey and in their achievement today. I know that for many of you it was a great investment, and somehow when you will see your son or daughter or your brother or sister or your boy or girlfriend passing by here on the stage, that it's also a little bit of a return on investment for you. I know from some of the students that many of you as parents haven't seen them too much because they arrive very late and they are still sleeping when you go to job in the morning. But trust us, they did a great job at SMU. With commencement, our graduates now join the ranks of nearly 10,000 alumni. We are a very young university. This is only the 8th commencement that we celebrate, but we already have 10,000 people out there who are promoting and sharing the values of SMU. I do encourage you to stay connected with each other and with the school. The friendships you have formed and nurtured here will be with you for a long time to come. And I also want to thank all of you who have kept up with the SMU tradition of contributing collectively to a graduating class scholarship. The level of giving for a young university like ours is truly unprecedented. Your contributions will enable needy students to enjoy the SMU experience that you have had. We truly appreciate your generosity. While every batch of our graduates has enjoyed 100% or close to 100% employment, we wouldn't have done our job if the world you step into does not benefit from what you bring to it. I all urge you to carry our circle values of commitment, integrity, responsibility, collegiality, leadership, and excellence with you wherever you go. These values are an integral part of SMU's holistic approach to education. We've always emphasized not only the training of graduates intellectually, but also the nurturing of graduates with the heart. And therefore, each year at the commencement ceremony of the university, we recognize students who have embraced these values with Circle Awards. They were handed out yesterday during the opening ceremony, but I mentioned already then that the winners have been actively involved in serving and giving back to SMU and the community at large. These people have demonstrated leadership abilities, are upright in character, and well respected by peers, staff, and faculty. They're truly role models for future generations to come. And most of you, I hope, will be aware that your School of Information System peers, Danny Seo Lang Yang Kong and Alvin Ko Young Yong, both received Circle Awards this year in recognition of their good character and remarkable deeds. And I would like to ask an applause for them for all the hard work they did. And maybe they should stand up. I know that SMU's ability to mold individuals like them has greatly impressed our guest of honor here this morning, Mrs. Teng Soong Lang, Executive Vice President of OCBC Bank, who will be addressing us shortly. Soong Lang heads the Group Quality and Service Excellence Division, which is responsible for building a quality culture, facilitating cross-functional process transformations, and enhancing collaborations across the group. Prior to her current role, she was the Group Chief Information Officer. She serves on the Board of Directors of BCS Information Systems, E2 Power, and the National Library Board in Singapore, as well as Symphony SIS in Malaysia. She has also been a very great friend to SMU and SIS, the School of Information Systems, since it was established in 2003. She's on the board of the advisors for the bachelor's program and the Master of IT for Business Financial Services. And she is a very frequent speaker at SIS, School of Information Systems seminars and other events. Mrs. Teng, I would like to thank you for attending this commencement ceremony today as our esteemed guest of honor, and also would like to thank you for your continued support to SMU and the School of Information Systems. The last thing I want to do is once again congratulate all the graduates on what they have achieved and wish them all the best in their professional and private life to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor De Meyer, for your inspiring preface.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard the chief storyteller of our SMU saga. But no story would be complete without a bunch of brave and intrepid characters. And what a courageous cohort we have here with us today.
To choose this David of the Startup University against the then dominant Goliaths in tertiary education. What bravery!
What risk-taking!
What were we thinking?
Well, let's hear from the horses' mouths.
My story began when I was attracted to the new environment that SMU could offer.
Honestly, I was pretty clueless what I wanted to do in my life, but then I guess SMU offered me a dynamic environment for me to discover myself.
I had heard a lot about SMU being a very different school, about the many opportunities on offer, so SMU was my first choice.
Well, it was between NTU Men's Com and SMU. Funnily enough, I didn't consider NUS even though it was nearest to my house.
SMU was the only uni to make me go through an interview, and I felt that they were more serious in getting to know me.
It seemed like the happening place to be. I didn't want to stay cooped up, studying in a classroom. I wanted to have a life.
I remember SMU's marketing collaterals and ads were a lot more attractive than NTU or NUS.
I went online to check out the CCAs that SMU had to offer, and when I stumbled across some videos of Caderas Latinas, that really motivated me to join SMU.
SMU represented the ideal change agent I was looking for.
Coming from a not-so-well-to-do family, I needed a scholarship.
After I finished my high school in Myanmar, I chose to come to Singapore.
I left Vietnam for better education and to experience a multicultural environment.
My story with SMU began with an earthquake that broke all the international cables and killed my applications to American colleges. But I didn't give up. That's when SMU came to my rescue.
I was curious to find out if law was the right route for me.
Well, I was originally intending to do computer science at NUS, but my father convinced me to apply for SMU.
I don't like to be taught in a huge lecture theatre. That's why I chose SMU.
I chose SMU because of its location, its crazy student life, as well as its top-tier international exchange opportunities.
During my NS days, I found out more about SMU, and I think because of its small class size, it's actually better for me.
Choosing between NTU and SMU was a no-brainer. My seniors spoke very highly of SMU.
So, Urmila, do you remember why you chose SMU?
Of course. I chose SMU because it gave me the best opportunity to pursue a holistic education, and I heard they look after their international students really well. Besides, I wanted to find myself in a different you.
Wow, Steve Miller would be proud of this.
I'm sure he would. What about you, Ihao?
I chose SMU because I couldn't get into any other university.
What?
I'm kidding. I chose SMU simply because we're in the middle of civilization.
That's a good one. NTU and NUS must be so jealous.
Moving on, here's someone who's chosen to contribute to our story today. Please welcome our guest of honor, Mrs. Tang Soon Lang.
Thank you. President of SMU, Professor Arnold De Meyer, thank you very much for the very kind introduction. Dean, School of Information Systems, and Vice Provost of Research, Professor Stephen Miller, faculty. Actually, it shows I'm a lot shorter than I thought. Okay. Faculty members, proud parents, distinguished guests, and especially our graduates of class 2012. My heartiest congratulations to all of you. It is a deep honor and a privilege to be part of your celebration. This occasion reminds me of my own graduation more than 30 years ago. I can remember clearly how proud my parents were and how excited I was. I also had some trepidation on how I will perform well as I step into the industry. But I have to admit, I did not remember anything about the commencement speech. So if you do not remember anything I say this morning, you are forgiven. All you have to remember is the rich experience, and you are a graduate of SMU, one of the most prestigious universities. The School of Information Systems is actually very dear to me and resonates strongly to me on a personal level. I had the wonderful opportunity to participate in reviewing some of the early programs with a pioneer batch since 2003. Under the visionary leadership of Professor Stephen Miller, the course have dramatically transformed into the most unique and outstanding program not found anywhere in the world. You have successfully completed one of the toughest and most valuable programs. Beyond the classroom, you have worked on numerous projects as teams, your exposure to industry, and from the video, I could see you enjoyed the tremendous bonding on the campus. SMU have equipped you with a huge advantage over graduates from other universities. You are well prepared to join the ranks of leaders in the industry, so take what you have learned and make a difference in the world. This morning, I'm not going to talk about technology or operations or process or service because you know much more than I do. What I do like to do is to share some simple messages of what have worked with me through the years. And I'll summarize as 3 simple little L that talks about listening, learning, and leading. The first is listening. And I mean attentively listening with the sincerity to understand the other person. As I walk in, I look at all these young faces. I think you're at the phase where you practice active listening every day because this is the stage where you're probably all madly in love. So even when your partner doesn't say anything, you can feel the attention, right? Unfortunately, after we get married, our spouse accuses us of forgetting all this wonderful art. But the ability to be able to be an attentive listener is one of the most understated qualities of a leader, and they must have that in order to be successful in the industry. This skill has helped me tremendously, and I'd like to share how attentive listening has helped me through some of the major projects, like leading the IT merger integration when we bought another bank some years ago. You know, when there's a merger, we have 2 of everything. We have to make decisions to keep one because we only need one. So I have to make decisions on which system to keep, what to decommission. And when we make decisions on people, it's even tougher. Who stays and who goes. And for those who stay, we have to decide who is the leader of the combined team. All these situations give rise to a lot of disagreement and tension. And you will encounter some of these in your working life. What I tried to do was to make a conscious effort to listen to what people have to say and demonstrate how I have taken into account their views and feelings in making some of these difficult decisions if it makes sense. If it does not make sense, I take time to explain to them why it does not make sense. And this is very important. In your daily rush, we tend to focus on the what, but we forget to explain the why. Active listening is a sign of respect. It is not just listening, but openly acknowledging what we have heard, and it's amazing how this has helped us diffuse tension. In tense situations, it is an advantage to listen first, and then respond with something like, I hear you, I understand how you are feeling, and of course, you must really mean it. Never underestimate how much people yearn to be heard and to be respected. Okay. Once you have given them the chance, they will listen to you and they'll hear what you have to say. But they may not fully agree with you, but they may accept your tough decisions, which sometimes is inevitable. Now, being a good listener helps us to also be a good learner, and that's my second L. You're probably saying to yourself, oh my God, what is she trying to say? I have just loaded my brains with so much learning from SMU. My head is bursting with great ideas, and I want to go out to the world to tell them how much I know. But the reality is, learning never stops. We also need to recognize the need to unlearn what we already know and relearn what becomes more relevant as we move on in life. All of you are going to be an international citizen. You'll be exposed to new ideas while working in the interconnected world. It is also a transitional world where old rules familiar to us may break down, and events in the world have shown that assumptions of the past may not help us in the future. Take all these as learning opportunities, be creative, and make new rules. Such learning enables us to adapt, stay relevant, and become a true special asset for our employer. When I say learning, I don't mean attending courses alone or just reading books. In business, it is about being observant. It is about listening and knowing what your competitors are doing all the time. The world out there is exciting, but it's also daunting. I'm sure you will read many successful achievements, learn and build on your achievement. However, some of the best lessons are from our failure. In tough times, doubts do creep in. But always remember, tough times don't last, but tough people do. I repeat again, tough times don't last, tough people do. You have all successfully completed one of the toughest programs. You are tough men and tough women. Whatever don't kill you is going to just give you more strength and help you to improve your adversity quotient. We'll call that AQ. And this will prepare you to take the next wave of challenge, which may propel you to the top spots in your chosen career. So please, do not be disheartened by obstacles. They are valuable learning opportunities. Get the lessons and move on. Now, mastering listening and learning will poise us to be better leaders. This is the third L. Look for opportunities to take leadership. You don't need to be a CEO or a vice president to be a leader. At every level, there are opportunities to take leadership. However, when you reach the top, please do not be arrogant. The higher you ascend, the more you have the responsibility to serve your people. I particularly like what Max Dupree, the chairman of Herman Miller's words on the responsibility of the leader. He said, the first responsibility of the leader is to define reality. The last is to say thank you. And in between the two, the leader becomes a servant and a debtor. Now, what do I mean by defining reality? Look at it. Let's go back to this story about the merger. The reality is we have two of everything in a merger, and we only need one. Okay? People need to know that tough choices have to be made, and that's reality. Be honest with them. To be a servant to our people means to give them support, give them the tools and the resources so that they can deliver for us. And when our team achieves great results, that we are the one who benefit too. So that's why we are debtor to our teams. I know I'm not a smart person, so my secret is to hire people way smarter than myself. I listen and I learn from them. Then they produce fantastic results. They get promoted and I get promoted too. Isn't that a good bargain? Yeah. So it's crystal clear that I'm indebted to my team, and that's why thanking my team every day is never even enough. As you move forward to assume leadership roles in the industry, take time to listen, to learn, and become an artful leader. Beyond your success, remember compassion and charity as well. Remember to thank people who have helped you along the way, starting with your parents. Your parents love you more than you ever know. I'm a parent myself. And, oops, I'm sorry. See, I don't have a, you know, when your head is not very big means you're not very smart. Okay. So pursue your dreams, but help others along as well. You are the future. SMU have prepared you well. Step into the world with confidence, imagination, courage, and determination. Change the world, but have fun while you are at it. Your lecturers and parents have done their part. The world is now yours to shape. I'd like to wish each and every one of you a successful journey and happiness along the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Ting.
I'm sure we have all been inspired by Mrs. Ting to go off and write our own adventures now. But some of us will surely be feeling a certain amount of trepidation here on the cusp of the next chapter of our life.
Well, fret not. Cliffhangers and suspense are all part of a good story. After all, didn't we feel like this too when we were just starting out at SMU? Don't remember anymore? Well, here's a reminder.
After early matriculation at the end of my NS, I was offered an opportunity to work at the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. This really opened my eyes to the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes every year.
My first point of contact with SMU were the camps. I was super excited to sign up for all the camps because I've always been a camp kind of person.
I went for 3 camps. All were very fun and different. My first impression came from my camp facilitators who were super friendly and answered every question about SMU.
I was quite a gung-ho first-year student. I joined 5 orientation camps, did a pageant.
Everybody was very enthusiastic and classes were very lively and vibrant. My first friends were made during social science camp, and till today we're still friends.
My first class was technology and world change, and I remember feeling really lost and alone because I didn't know anyone in class.
I was very overwhelmed initially because the overall learning environment was much more intense and competitive.
I wasn't accustomed to participating frequently in class, and I suddenly felt like I had to manage my own time.
My first class was in LTB. I was working in a group of 10 people, brainstorming for a project that had to create sustainable value for society. And it had to be executed in just 8 weeks.
My first test was definitely a harrowing experience. Taking a Stats 101 exam 3 years after the A-levels is not fun at all.
My very first test was Stat 151 by Professor Dennis Leong in week 3. Scared the hell out of all the freshmen.
I had so much fun that my grades actually suffered during my first year.
I remember thinking bleakly to myself, the next 5 years will be very challenging.
Well, to be honest, I was filled with apprehension.
I was a bit lost.
Language and culture were big barriers. The first class was fun, but I had to struggle with class part.
Everything was very new to me, and all sorts of things were happening at the same time, but it was really fun to experience all these.
Singlish gave me quite some trouble, but being shameless, I keep trying. And I also made a lot of friends that also helped me a lot.
So despite the doubts and fears we felt as freshmen, I think we turned out all right.
Yes, I think we did. Sometimes I almost think I'm dreaming. After all this time, are we really graduating? What was that for?
To check that you're not dreaming, are you still here? In fact, just to make sure, let's invite the dean of our school to tell us it's really happening. Please welcome Professor Stephen Miller.
Give my greetings to our guest of honor, Tang Sulang from OCBC, to our president, Arnaud, to all of our faculty, to the parents, and of course, to all of our students graduating, from our postgraduate students to our undergraduate. Your challenge, if you were an undergraduate, it was for the past 4 years. If you were a postgraduate, it could have been from 2 years to 5 years, was to make it through here. And all of you, by virtue of the fact that you're sitting here today, have made it have risen to that challenge. My challenge is to do this talk in about 5 minutes, and I will see how close I can come to delivering on that. Okay. I have a few simple messages, and they're aligned with the following short phrases and words. The first is about change. The second is about commitment. The third is about learning to learn. And the fourth is staying connected. So about the theme of change, for all of you, think about the time when you interviewed for SMU. The undergraduates came in and did the panel interviews. The MITB students had their interviews. Even the PhD students would go through phone interviews or possibly local interviews. And think of yourself then, if you can just flash back for a moment, and think now. You're a different person. A tremendous amount has changed. Well, it's a little bit of a yin-yang kind of tension that sort of when you're born, you are endowed with a certain personality. You are sort of the way you are from early ages, and it's so easy to look at people and to say, well, that's just the way they are. They can't change. And yet, if you think of what you've personally gone through in the last, be it 5 years, 4 years, 2 years, or 1 year, depending on your degree program, and the change that you've experienced, you see this sort of interesting contrast that people do have this fantastic capacity for change, and at the same time, people sort of are the way they are. And the reason I'm highlighting this is as you go out into this next phase of your career, you're going to be working with a lot of other people, and you're going to be making judgments with people and about people. And it's so easy to fall into the stereotype of, well, that's just the way the person is, they can't change. But you did. You did. You did in really important ways. Certain parts of the base stayed the same, and certain parts of you really did sort of reach beyond what you thought could ever be possible. So just keep that personal reflection alive about your ability to do things you never thought you could do, or to make changes that you never thought you could make. And part of your challenge as you go out there in that next phase is, how do you light that spirit in others that you work with? So while it is true that certain parts of their base are always the same, you can engender, you can motivate that capacity for change that really can lead people to do things that they didn't think they can do. All right. One other aspect of change. Think of the capstone projects you all had to do, especially for the MITB students, for the undergrad students, your final year project. You literally created change. You did something that changed the way people work, the way they communicate, the way they coordinate, the way they cooperate. You were able to take some aspect of information technology, put it together with people, with processes, with organization, with operations, and you were able to make something happen, maybe for a nonprofit, maybe to increase revenue, maybe to create a new service, maybe to drive productivity. But you personally experienced and lived through the ability to change how things happen. And just remember, you have that ability. And if you continue to exercise that ability and integrate technology with people, with organizations, with information, with, the way people do their everyday work, you continue to make a lot of really good things happen. SIS really does prepare you to be a change agent. Let me move to the next theme, commitment. SIS students have a reputation and want to continue to build a reputation that we are people who can be relied on. We are people who, first, we understand what a commitment means. We understand a commitment is really a commitment and that it needs to be delivered on, and that it takes ideas and it takes a million other steps to go from the idea to something that really happens and change that really unfolds in meaningful ways that make a difference. So this bit about being the kind of people who understand commitments, can accept commitments, and can be sensible about managing commitments is really a powerful thing. If you can build a reputation as a person who stands by their commitments and can reliably pursue commitments, now that doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. Maybe you say something's going to take a month and it takes 2 months, you know, that sort of happens. But you live through the commitment and you see it to the end. That will make a big difference. And if our school has a reputation for these kind of people, you will do well and the school will do well in the years to come. There is a tension between being the kind of people who are on the forefront of change and being people who are rock solid about commitments. There's a natural tension here because change involves uncertainty. Commitments involve structure and structure and certainty. And the ability to work at the interface of these two situations. You can take all the management courses you want, you can get all the degrees you want, but if you cannot figure out sort of how to work at the interface of a dynamic world that is not certain, that is unfolding, where there is no roadmap, and one where we need predictability and we need commitment and we need sort of a sense of what will reliably happen. And it's, by its very nature, a sort of a complicated and a little bit of a chaotic interface. But if you can't really comfortably work at that interface, you cannot accept the obligations of the responsibilities of management. So that dual theme of change and commitment. We all know that when we ask so many of our undergraduates about the learning outcomes that we have, and we have 8 of them, and I promise I won't ask you about all 8 of them now, okay? That for most students, what comes out as the one that they most quickly relate to is learning to learn. And we hear it all the time that the SIS students say, you threw me into situations I did not have the preparation for. I had to go learn it myself. I had to work with my peers. We had to do things beyond what we were taught in class. The whole program is geared that way, and you have done it. So remember that going forward. You can go into situations where you do not know the answers. You can go into situations where you know you need to start from the beginning. You need to climb the stair steps, if you will, and you've practiced yourself on how to do that and how to pace yourself and how to work with the peers. I'm proud to say that in the most recent round of the course evaluations that SMU did, this was just for the January through April period in 2012, one of the things that the students evaluate is what we call peer learning. To what extent that they're learning from their other peers, not from the prof, but from their other peers as they pursue their educational courses. And the SIS students, the undergrads of all the students across SMU, indicated that there's a more intense level, a higher level of peer learning going on than was indicated by the students in any of the other SMU schools. So remember that. If you continue to learn from your peers, and if you continue to teach your peers, a lot of good things will happen. So continue with that peer learning. Finally, stay connected. Stay connected to your class, to the university. Stay connected to SIS. Help us grow. Enjoy this new phase of your life. Don't be too worried about making mistakes. You will make them. Just learn from them and figure out how to sensibly manage your commitments despite the mistakes. And keep in mind these thoughts about change, commitment, learning to learn, and staying connected. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dean. We now invite you to present the postgraduate degrees. We would also like to invite the appointed school reader, Professor David Lowe.
ฟูน่าฮันจินผู้เมชินอาโรซาอารุนโดมินิกเฉินเยาวชูชาชิงช่างซุงไหวเดวาคาติเกยันเดวาราจันกันเลเวลินGilbert Menezes Huang Yehui Imali Jayadari Monashinge Itabashi Koichiro Lai Qiantang Lee Jong-rae Lee Shi-hao Libika Bhattacharya Michael Langner Michael Tong Yo-san Muhammad Sulaiman Muhammad Azharuddin Murtaza Hatim Laxmidar Ravish Khanna Srinivazan Anandane Suresh son of S. Kartikaisu Han Bunwei Andy Tang Xiaoqin Tanggavelu Ambalagan Cha Seung-shi Sasikumar Madhavan Lau Yi-meng
Thank you, Professor Miller and Professor Loh. We now invite Ms. Lau Yi-meng to say a few words on behalf of all postgraduates.
Guest of Honor, Mrs. Teng Soong Lang, Executive Vice President and Head, Group Quality and Process Innovation Division, OCBC Bank Group, SMU President, Professor Arnold D. Meyer, distinguished guests, professors, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm very honored today to be here to deliver the speech on behalf of the graduating class of the Masters of IT in Business Financial Services. This master program is a unique one as it trains IT professionals to be well-versed in processes, operations, and technology solutions in the banking and financial sector. First, I would like to congratulate the graduating cohorts from the School of Information Systems. Although our journey in SMU may be different, but we will agree that we had the opportunities to learn from experts from both the industries and our faculties. The knowledge and skill sets that we have gained from SMU SIS has allowed us to be unique and confident individuals. In one of the recent conferences that I attended recently, we have heard about companies that no longer are looking for standard solutions. They are looking to differentiate themselves from others. This is where decisions have to be made in advance, and the role of social media has become more amplified. Change seems to be the only thing that has been the only thing that is constant. We need to keep ourselves updated and to stay relevant. When we first embarked on this journey on our master's program, we will probably be asking ourselves, do we need this master degree? For those of us that do not come from the financial sector, will this degree help us to get a job in the financial services? Having heard so much about SMU and given the time, given that MITB program is the only one that is available worldwide, I am very privileged to be given a chance to actually do this course. In our cohort, we came from different parts of the world, playing different roles in different organizations. Many of us are from the banking sectors, a few of us are not. This has created a very good sharing experience and learning ground for us to get started. I am one of the products of the very traditional education system. SMU to me is very different. Lessons at SMU are conducted differently, and sharing is part of the learning process. Our modules are conducted in mini terms, which means that we had to complete a module in just 7 weeks. I will be very sure that we will always remember the first module that we took, accounting. Being IT professionals, as I'm one of them, we got no idea what debit and credit is all about, and not to say coming up with financial statements. These are the times we had to hand out assignments every other days. We are practically emailing each other every night, in the middle of the night to get updates. Next came the financial and banking related modules. The financial jargons are overwhelming. However, with the help of SIS Unified Banking Processes Framework, it helps a lot. It gives us an overview of what banking and financial is. The highlight of our journey for most of us would be the capstone project. I was given the opportunity to work with the New York Stock Exchange Technologies to build a BPMS system. This is my first project with the financial sector. Although the business owner is actually based in Tokyo, the frequent teleconferences, email exchanges that we had provide us with a platform to work well together. The final presentation at NYSE Technology in the Singapore office was very overwhelming. We had over 20 employees from NYSE Technology sitting in to listen to our presentation. I would like here to thank Professor Randy for his expertise and the guidance in this particular project, and of course, my teammate, JR. I'm very glad to be part of the SMU community. As the saying goes, price is what you pay, value is what you get. I'm very convinced that SMU has provided me with the value that I'm not able to get it elsewhere. On behalf of my classmates, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the faculty members, the administrative staff from the MITB program. Without you, we would not have learned as much. And also to our family members, without your support, we would not be here today. Last but not least, I would like to thank my fellow project mates and course mates. My best wishes to all. Thank you very much.
One day, as I'm leaving SIS, I saw a gentleman asking direction to go to business school, so I accompanied him there. When we arrived, he passed me his name card, and he turned out to be the managerial partner of McKinsey Singapore, and he offered me an interview.
In my first ever term in SMU, I was so scared to participate in class, and I was in awe of all the seniors who seemed to be just like throwing up words of wisdom. And every time I had something I thought I could add on to the discussion, I would just nudge my senior friend next to me and be like, does this sound okay? Like, should I say this? Should I say this? I fell flat on my face in the middle of class, right in front of the professor, in finishing touch class.
The first embarrassing thing that happened to me was during my microeconomics class in year 1, when I actually raised my hand to ask the professor for permission to go to the toilet.
We organized Divala Football, which is Singapore's largest women futsal event. I was just 19. I had absolutely no idea how to organize such a huge event, but we did it.
One of the most meaningful experiences I've had was being part of the group of students who founded the SMU Chinese Orchestra. We started with only a handful of members, no instruments, and no place in school to practice.
When I first wanted to start Chinese orchestra in SMU, everybody said it was impossible. But guess what? We made it!
I stood to run for president of Chao Vietnam. At first, not many friends supported me because they think that I look feminine, shy and quiet. However, I changed their mind.
I was the president of the SMU Myanmar Community Club, and I built a great team with my ESCO members. It was the toughest time of my life, yet the most fun.
I decided to continue my passion for hip-hop once I entered SMU. Even though many would argue that it's an extremely time-consuming process, that it was perhaps the wisest choice I made in my life.
For this particular boring module, my crazy girlfriend said to make it fun by having a weekly dress code, so I was forced to buy clothes almost every week. It not only brightened up my wardrobe, but also showed me that a boring class can be something that you look forward to going every week when you have good friends. I love them. I remember queuing for all the freebies that Smoosa and Bondi would give out. I would always queue with my dance friends, and we'd always be plotting the best ways to shorten our wait in line.
When I got my first rejection from a well-known company, I was very upset and wanted to cry. My project mate Gaia came over, put her arms around me and said very encouraging words. That's when I realized that although SMU is competitive, people still care for one another.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed to the awarding of the undergraduate degrees. Professor Miller, please. May we once again invite Professor David Lowe as well to read out the awarding.
Alex Cheng Peng Cheng, magna cum laude. Alvin. Amritpal Singh Shiddu. Anisha Madhur Daswani. Ashik Ravi Morris. Ong Jong. Ong Min Ten. Pao Hon Chern. Pei Ting Ting Serene. Brandon Yo Chun Chong. Chai Kun Rong Ernest. Chan Ching Hong summa cum laude. Chan Shefen Felicia. Chang Xin Yin Chen Chen, Chen Yanqing, Chong Wei Shen, Chong Wen Chai Brian, magna cum laude. Ter Bun Chin, Ter Bun Pin Patrick, Chu Wei Tian, Cha Se Ming Jolene, Chang Si Yan Cheryl, Cheng Su Chi, Choi Wing Yan, Chung Hong Hao, Hong Ming Ming, Chu Miao Ling Annette, Chua Chien Fern Janice, Tai Wen Jing, Chula Sula Geswan, Deepa, daughter of Panirselvam, Elizabeth Chin Yin Wen, Chi Xian, Eric Tanuwijaya, Evelyn Juhari, February last gone, Feng Chu Gong Edwin, cum laude, Hong Sa Yen Sean, magna cum laude, Gina Divya, Go Sang Yi Egan, Go Su Ching Maybelline, Harjani Bharat Govindram, cum laude, Hayashi Satoshi, cum laude, He Fei Xiang, Harry Sutikno, Harry Yonosim, summa cum laude, Hubert Lima Slim, Ho Sung Seng Desmond, Isaac Lim Yuan Chun, Jacob Selvan Mutu, son of Silveraju, Jesse. Jiang Hao. Kang Kai-shin. Ke Sui-ming. Calvin Go Hong Wei. Hang Pin Hua. Kai Su Mon. Hu Kai Chin Jonathan, summa cum laude. Hu Shi-min Gladys. Ho Chin-yong Alvin, summa cum laude. Ho Mei-ying Joy. Ho Yi-zhi James, cum laude. Hoti Mangalam Jagannathan Saja. Jo Jin Hein Myo Min U. Lam Yan Yi Cindy. Lao Jin Hui. Lao Pei Ân. Lee Hung Pei. Lee Ker Hua Daryl, magna cum laude. Lee Miao Sung Cynthia. Lee Wai Hung Joel, summa cum laude. Lee Wei Liang Eugene. Leong Chien Wai Calvin. Leong Chie Lap. Leong Shuana. Leong Ying Lap. Lim Dit Ching. Lim Chie Ting Jacqueline. Lim Kwan Yo Alphonsus. Lim Li Chien Ivy. Lim Lun Shin Ken Ken. Lim Sheng Yang. Lim Shi Yin, cum laude. Lim Wei Sheng, Wilson. Lim Shailin, Geraldine. Lim Yan Ping, Melissa. Lim E. Hao, cum laude. Liu Xinghui. Lo Chung-gi. Lo Wei-yi. Luisa Chefania. Lur Mei. Ma Cheng, cum laude. Mark Boon Wei Chien, cum laude. Mei Yok Chong. Melvir Singh Sidhu, son of Jai Singh. Michael Allen Palanca Olivan. Min Thu Han. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, son of Abdul Aziz. Muhammad Shaiful bin Muhammad Najaib. Muhammad Nasaruddin bin Abdul Karim. Muhammad bin Alamgir. Miat Noemon. Myo Min Ong. Neo Ewan. Eng Shu Wei. Eng Wei Chen. Eng Xin Yi. Nguyen Tan Kwa. Nguyen Thi Ngoc Min. Nguyen Thi Tam. Nitin Jose. Nur Muhammad Rifki bin Rohaizad. Nur Kamar binte Kamaroli. Ong Iling Erin. O Chie Wei. O Ming Lee Pierlin. Han Liang Hua. Pei Chin Chuan. Peng Li Hong. Ho Henry. Ho Xiao Teng. Prakhar Anle. Prima Aulia Gusta. Hua Wei Han. Raghav Nandan Podar, Ray Sorab, summa cum laude. Rina Chin Hui Ying, Richard Lawrence Forbes Edmonds, Rishabh Shingvi, Samantha Sheila Silver Raju, Suwanjit Singh, son of Ranjit Singh, So Liang Chong, Danny, summa cum laude. Sheena Lenore C. Lee Villanueva, Xing Yi Chuan, Jeremy, Chitish Nigam, magna cum laude. Sim Sing Hung, magna cum laude. Sim Sheila, Sherlyn, Su Tet Ong, So Chao Sheng, Daniel, So Fang Yi, Shu Pei Shan, Angeline, Shubish son of Bashir, Suresh Kumar Darshni, Shito Chahui Nicholas, Hai Kang Wei, summa cum laude. Tan Beng Hung, Alan, Tan Chu Ling, Elaine, Tan Chun Yen, summa cum laude. Tan Chuan Chong, Tan Yu Cheng, Tan Chia Min, Carmen, Tan Chien Wei, cum laude. Tan Jin Ning, Devon, cum laude. Tan Chin Long, Tan Mei Rong, Jesslyn, Tan Mei Xing, Jezreel, Tan Ming Wei, Tan Min Lee, Lin, Tan Shu Ren, summa cum laude. Tan Thomas, Tan Ying Da, Tan Ying Xian, Tan Chan Chung Ming. Hang Bin. Taukid bin Abdul Jalil. Tai Chin Yen Thomas, summa cum laude. Tina Carissa Chung Ngo, cum laude. He Pei Lin Jasmine. Heo Wei Lin Dennis, summa cum laude. Teo Shie Kun. Teo Yi Chin. Teo Chi Wei, magna cum laude. Hern Ka Ling, Carol. Tia Kai Shin, cum laude. Thierry May. Tian Te Hui. Ho An Chi. Sang Wing He. Urmila Mandapaka. Parun Bimal Saraf. Vishal Menon Muralidhar. Y Pyo Jo. Wan Hui Yi. Wan Yen Ting. Wang Qin Shi. Wei Yi Ting, cum laude. Wong Te Ming, cum laude. Wong Han Heng, Brandon. Wong Wei Han, Kenny, cum laude. Wong Wei Ling. Wu Kai Ling. Wu Wai Peng, Jesselyn. Wu Xiongwei. Wu Tianyu, Benjamin. Wu Yongxiang, Daniel. Shi Hongyang, Michael. Yap Renjie, Marcus. Ye Min Ning. Yi Chi Ming, Gabriel. Yo Bun Yi, cum laude. Teo Hui En, Melissa, cum laude. Yesita Yasmin Alessandra Azehari. Yu Chin Wei, Gerald. Johan Yezdi, engineer. Yong Wei Yang, Mervin. Ye Han Jie, Marcus. Chao Liang. Chao Chin Chi.
Thank you, Dean, and thank you, Professor Loh. May we invite you back to your seats. Now I know this is for real. We finally graduated. My fellow newly minted graduates, in accordance with the age-old tradition dating back to the University of Bologna, let us now shift the tassel on our mortarboard from right to left to signify our new status as graduates.
Let's do this together on a count of 3. Hang on, hang on. Urmila, are you ready?
Yes?
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. Class of 2012, each and every one of us has had a unique journey throughout these 4 to 5 years. No doubt some versions have been more exciting than others. Next up, we salute our peer with the most splendid story.
Every year, a school valedictorian is chosen as the top student of the school based on the most outstanding academic, leadership, and co-curricular achievements. This top individual best epitomizes the qualities and values of the school brand. May we now call upon our Dean to present the DBS Bank Valedictorian Award for the School of Information Systems 2012. Professor Miller, please. The Dean of Information Systems will now present the DBS Bank School of Information Systems Valedictorian Award. The DBS Bank School of Information Systems Valedictorian for 2012 is Mr. Andre Ng, who graduates with a degree in Information Systems Management.
Thank you, Prof. Miller. Congratulations, Andre. Please share your story with us. And remember to shift the tassel to the left. Andre. Round of applause.
Good morning, guests of honor, Mrs. Teng Soon Lang, Professor Arnold D. Meyer, Professor Stephen Miller, faculty members, parents and friends. I am truly humbled by the honor and privilege to speak on behalf of the graduating class of 2012 at this very special occasion. To my friends, the graduating class of 2012, congratulations, we made it. Today marks a new beginning in our lives. But before we embark on this new and exciting journey, I would like us to take this opportunity to reflect on our challenging yet rewarding journey that we have walked together as friends over the past 4 years. Our journey started 4 years ago at an interview where we profess our burning desire for a place in SIS. Just like how our beloved instructor, Mr. Li Yao Leong, used to declare his love for Java to us in class. Four years ago, I, like many of you here today, had no idea what we have gotten ourselves into when we decided to join SIS. We did not know that we would have to spend late nights camping in school, programming, and solving an endless stream of bugs. We did not know that our professors would only teach us the basics and trust us to somehow magically figure out the rest. And we did not know that we had to somehow improvise on the spot when our system crashes on us during our presentations. And we did not know that we could not fluff our way through our presentations without actually building something that worked the way we said it would. 4 years on, we can confidently say that our sacrifices have paid off. We have more than survived. We stand out at internships because we don't just talk about our problems, but instead are able to go a step further to solve them. We can quickly learn anything we set ourselves to because learning everything else seems so much easier to learn than a programming language. We have built a united student community that never fails to rally at every school event. And I'm confident that tonight's graduation party will be no exception. But even as we celebrate our achievements today, let us not forget to thank the many people who have made today possible for us. To DBS Bank, thank you for conferring this award on me. To our Dean Steve, thank you for your dedication and hard work in making SIS what it is today. Thank you for always taking the time to talk to us when we bump into you along the corridors and in the lifts. To our faculty, thank you for always being there to support us, both offline and online. Thank you also for doing such a great job in pushing our limits with your challenging projects and exams. To our SIS staff, thank you for your unwavering support in our student activities and for constantly seeking out new ways to make SIS a better place for all. Let us also not forget to thank our family, girl or boyfriends, friends, for their support and understanding, for without them, we will not be where we are today. In closing, I would like to say that the past 4 years of SIS has been truly one of the best times of my life because I was doing something that I was truly passionate about. So even as we make decisions on our next phase of life, I hope that we'll always remember to follow our heart. Life is short, so live for your passion and not someone else's. Thank you and congratulations on your graduation.
There's just so many amazing people that I've met. Professors, instructors, classmates, and CCA mates.
My econs orientation camp group mates, as well as some of my closer SMU friends like Christine and Zijian.
My best buddies from the Office of Student Life, Eileen, Kelly, and Wansi.
Ben and everybody else from Bellary.
Well, my permanent classmate Satoshi. We met completely by chance because there was no one left for me to group with. But since then, we've done so many mods together that we don't even need to discuss who does which part.
In criminal law class, I made a very good friend, Vidya, who's going to graduate together with me after 5 long years.
My soccer friends, Juliana, Hui Ying, and Claudia.
All the dancers in Dance Then my instructor, Claudine, my OSL manager, as well as my Strats group friends.
My SMU CO members, Professor Tan Yu Guan, and OSL staff.
My sister, my senior Ngọc Anh, always watch over me, my friends, housemate, and staff from OSL.
Well, a special mention to my girlfriend Felicia and my dearest EMIX dance mates, Amanda, Beverly, Simin, Shufang, and Daniel.
My family in Laos, Amanda, and my best friend, Christopher.
I'm very fortunate to have 3 other SMU students, Jiang Hao, Wang Yang, and Wang Yang as my roommates.
My best friends from Chamber Choir, Amanda and Abigail, and my career counselor, Prasanti.
My best friends, Anna and Abby, and my CCA friends from Choir and SMU BE. my dance mates, my accounting group mates, my strategy group mates, and Prof. Kat Yuan.
Well, my fellow EXCO members from SMU Aquathlon, Xander, Ashley, Ben, and Brandon, my girlfriend Yimei.
I really can't thank my psychology and corporate communication professors enough. And over the years, I've worked with a few of the OSL staff as well who have taught me a lot. And I've made the greatest friends at SMU who made peer pressure a positive phrase for me.
My friends from Caderas Latinas, especially those on the 6 EXCO with me. We made it, guys!
So, Urmila, what will you be doing now that you're graduating?
Well, unfortunately, no longer emceeing for SMU. But seriously, I'll be working as a recruitment consultant. What about you, Iha?
I'll be selling tissues at Bukit Street.
This is another one of your jokes, isn't it?
Okay, I'm a business analyst in UBS. I wonder what our peers are up to.
I'm really not sure what's ahead of me right now.
Oh, nothing much will change. We'll all still be dancing together forever.
I've been accepted into the JD program at SMU to study law, so I'll still be here for the next 3 years.
There will be different challenges, such as the bar exam and legal practice. But I'm not so worried because I've spent the last 5 years preparing for this.
I'll be starting work at Kutek Port Hospital soon, using analytics and IT to improve the patient experience.
Hopefully still dancing whilst working as an analyst.
This time next year, I'll be at DBS in the Management Associate program, but I'll find a way to keep dancing so that I don't get fat by coming back to Intensity or IDNTA every week.
Well, I hope to get into the banking industry, but I'll definitely return to SMU to dance with EMIX.
I would like to continue my passion for the arts and also see SMU CEO flourish.
I'll be working as a business development executive at a Singapore startup company.
I hope next year I can be sitting in one of the alumni sessions and talking to new SMU students about my SMU experiences.
I'll be starting work as a marketing management trainee at Unilever, but not before going on a grad trip to Turkey with some of my summer girlfriends.
I'll be working at Credit Suisse, private banking.
I'll join P&G and continue my passion for improving people's lives.
I'm going to do my master's in the UK, and after that, I'm hoping to find a job that will allow me to help people.
I'm not going to be an accountant. I'm going to manage a business. I'll be working in luxury retail for DFS.
Hopefully next time this year, I'll be really happy with my job and I'll keep in contact with all the friends I've made here.
Well, we may get a bit rounder, but I do believe that the bonds we have built will only get stronger because we'll miss each other more and more every day.
I'm thankful to have found a job in a well-known pharmaceutical company. It's hard to say what comes next, but I'm excited and looking forward to whatever's ahead.
Well, as we can see, everyone's got their grand plans and shooting off in different directions. And we wish them all the very best.
Yes, it's so exciting, but at the same time, a little bit sad.
Sad? Why?
It just occurred to me that this may be the last time our entire cohort will be together in this story. After this, we're all off to our different careers and destinies in other tales.
Yes, I know. I'll miss all my friends and professors. It really won't be the same again after today.
So, although I know it's sad to say so, I'll miss you guys, and I miss you, SMU.
I'll miss you, SMU.
miss you, SMU.
I'll 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 miss you, SMU.